Hello and welcome to this video on course structure. So we will go through a little bit about the thought behind the course, and then we'll go into the GitHub repository, which is essential for this course, where you'll see all the course materials. So we'll move on to the keynote now. So how this data warehouse course is structured. So we have the data pipeline in this course, which you've seen in the previous video already, which we have different data sources. We have the data warehouse, and then we will serve a dashboard. So then we have extract and load. So we're ingesting the data from different data sources. So we have extraction and loading. Then we have the transformation inside of the data warehouse. And we're serving the BI dashboard. So to do this, we have a technology stack which we'll work with within this course. So we'll have DLT and DLT Hub. It's a data load tool. So this is used for the extraction and loading part. So we do extract and load. Then we'll extract and load from different data sources into our data warehouse, which in our case is Snowflake. So this is our data warehouse. And in Snowflake, there's the Snow site, which we'll work with. It's the UI of Snowflake. We'll also work with something called Snow SQL, which we will connect through the command line tool, so that we can work with Snowflake SQL in Visual Studio Code. And then we'll have DBT. This is for use. This is called Data Build Tool. So it's used for the transformations part. And in DBT, we will do some tests. We'll do different data tests of both our model and the source. And in DBT, we can create documentations very easily. So we will do that also. Then we'll serve dashboard, and the dashboard application which we'll use is Streamlit, which is in Python, a library in Python, where we can easily create dashboards. And in order for this not to be able to update, so we have an ELT pipeline, but we need to update the ingestion. We need to update the transformation. So we need to schedule it in different time intervals. So for that, we have Dagster, which is an orchestration tool, which we can use for orchestrating DLT or DBT, so that the data is updated. So it's orchestration tool. And we will touch upon the Dagster in the end of this course. And throughout the course, we'll work with GitHub and Git so that we have version control. And this is also one reason why we have Snow SQL, so that we can version control our SQL worksheets. Also, we can version control the DBT, which will do that, and the DLT in Python and Streamlit also. And we'll work a lot in the command line tool, so bash CLI. I will myself be using the terminal in Mac OS, but you could use git bash in Windows, or you can use bash in Linux. That will also work. I recommend not to use PowerShell or CMD in Windows, as the commands will differ a little bit from what I'm using. So use git bash if you're in Windows. And we'll be using our Visual Studio Code as integrated development environment. So this is our IDE. And of course, we'll work with Python. So a lot of these tools are Python based. So we have Dagster, Python based, Streamlit, Python based, DLT, Python based. DBT, however, is you'll work a lot with SQL there, SQL and YAML. But we'll come to that later on. And also in Python, we'll work with virtual environment. And for our case, we'll work with a package called UV, which is very good package for working with virtual environments. So we'll come to that later also. So a few study technique tips. So go through the readmes and get an overview of the topic before getting into the lecture, or you can look into the lecture directly. I have put in glossary in each exercises. So take a look at the glossary, search it up. You can use LLM for help. However, try to learn the glossary, as this is kind of a language which you learn. So the tips is to pause and code along. So I'm coding coding everything live when I'm doing the video. So you should type out the code and don't copy paste it from the source material. However, you can take a look at the resources in order to, in case you have gotten stuck. But it's good to type out the code. And watch several times. Go back, watch again. And if it's going too slow, you can always speed the video up. But the tip is to watch several times. Discuss with your classmates or another friend and bring the questions to class so that you can be more active in the class. So it's kind of, you become, when you have you have already gotten the theory before the class. And when you're in the class, you can bring questions, you can discuss with classmates to make sure that this theory sticks and you can work with it. And when after the class or during the class, you can also do this. There's practical exercises, so you can always go back to the video to refresh yourself. You can check with LLM, check with the different resources that I have, and do the exercises. It's a very good way to learn, to consolidate the knowledge that you have. And finally, the resources that I have in each lecture. They are usually they are for you to learn more, so that it's for the interested reader. However, I think that it's good to skim through and see what's out there, so you don't need to learn everything. See it as a reference material, and it will help you in your future learning journey. And then this will move on to the next lecture. And this will start again. So all these steps will start again. Yes, now I'll show you the GitHub repository.